everyone, so today's video is going to be on how I cover my dark under eye circles. And before I get started, just let you know, I don't really have that bad of dark under eye circles, but I do have a little bit of bluish purplish tones, which I'll explain all of that into the video. I'll pretty much tell you everything, talk about everything that I'm using and the techniques I'm using, how I came about this technique, all in the video ahead. So without further ado, let's go ahead and just jump right into the video, and I'll see y'all at the end. So I just lowered my lighting area. I kind of took it like off my face so you could get a better look at what my under eye area looks like. I think it might look a little bit more, because when the lights are in my face, it's like my face is just bright and you can't really tell if I have really any imperfections. But so this way you can kind of see, get an idea what my under eye area looks like. And no, I do not have bad under eye dark circles. I do not have bad ones, but they're there and I like to cover them. I like to mostly brighten that area up. My under eye area is, let me see if I can, if it zooms in, I zoom in a little better. I don't know if it can, I'm trying to see if it can really show up, but it's like a bluish purplish tone right here and right in this area. And let me back away, I'm a little too close. So those are the areas that I concentrate on when I am concealing my under eye area. The first thing I do like to prime that area. And my favorite eye primer is the NARS Smudge Proof eyeshadow base. To me, it's the best. I have very oily lids, and this stuff it just works for me. This is just my favorite. It's more of a higher end product. I think it's like $28, something like that. So what I do is, of course, I put it all over my eyelid, and it is a wand product. It is just like a white base, but it'll blend in clear. And I also put it in my inner corner as well as underneath, where I have like my little fine lines underneath there, just to kind of help hold the product in place so it doesn't smooth and cause too much creasing. Creasing is pretty much going to happen. I realize that it's going to happen anyway. There are ways that you can help it from maybe not looking so bad. And I have learned this from just watching other YouTubers on YouTube. So this is not something that I came up with personally. I have like looked for how to, mostly my thing was how to not make my creases look so prominent after I've concealed my under eye area. And like by midday, like all my concealer was like caked in those little fine lines. And so I just researched and started watching other YouTubers, see how they did theirs, what products they use, and then I just kind of started making my own little way of doing it. The steps are pretty much the basic steps as these other YouTubers are doing, but my products are based on me and what I like and what I feel is best for my under eye area. So I just thought I'd go ahead and share that with you today. I was asked by a good friend of mine help on covering her dark circles, so I told her, I gave her some tips and told her what products I used. She asked for a video, so here we go. So like I already said, I primed my eye area. The next thing I like to do is kind of use a brightening product, a brightening product plus something to just hide or camouflage the dark circles. And really what you need for that is like a peachy tone concealer. And I have two right here, a drugstore as well as a high-end. This is the high-end that I've recently picked up. I've been having this for about a month now and I've absolutely fallen in love with it. I can actually wear this on its own, which I do on a regular basis. I've been wearing it for like a month now. I love it. It's the Tarte CC Under Eye Corrector, and I chose the color light medium. There are only two shades in this though, light medium, and then I think it's like a medium deep. But for me, I like the light medium because I like the brightening of the product. But of course, if you have more of a darker skin tone, then the medium deep will work best for you. But yeah, So here is, let me get it closer, what it kind of looks like. It has just a peachy, it's not coming up. It's got a peachy little undertone to it. Not as peachy though as the Pixi, which is my other favorite brightening product. This is called Correction Concealer and Brightening Peach, and it's by Pixi. It comes in a little jar like this. You can get it at Target. I think it's like about $12. It does have more of a peachy pearly look to it, and this will probably work better on those of you that have more prominent, darker under eye circles. I would probably recommend this one over the Tarte one, but it's whatever works for you. These are my two recommendations as far as high-end and drugstore go. But today I'm going to use the Tarte one because I've just really been liking this one. Tools are another good factor in covering those dark circles. My favorite thing to use is the mini beauty blender, the little green ones. I think they have like some pastel ones too. Usually I just use my finger, my ring finger, and just pat it in there to kind of heat up the product and let it make it spread easily. That's just what I do like on a normal regular basis during the week, just for something quick and easy to get ready with. But for the most part, when I'm really like concentrating and doing my makeup, I grab my little beauty blender. So I'm just gonna tap the tip of it, get a good bit of the product on there, and just tap it in. I don't know if it's, yeah. I tried to get the lights kind of like off my face so you can see more of what I'm working with here. So as you can see, it's kind of brightening up. I mean, I haven't finished blending, but it's definitely brightened up and kind of helped camouflage those dark circles. So really blend that in. Now to me, I already see a big difference. My coloration, the blue purplish tones are definitely camouflaged a little bit with this peachy brightening concealer. From this point on, I go ahead and I put on my foundation just to kind of help, just to kind of blend in what I did, because this to me is not really like my actual concealer. During the week it is, but when I'm really putting on my makeup, this is really just to, like I said, camouflage and help brighten that area. So I'm going to go ahead and put my foundation on real quick, and then we'll move on. Okay, so I've got my foundation on and I'm ready to move on to my concealer. My two favorite concealers right now are the Urban Decay Naked Skin ones. I use two of them. That's just my preference. I use the Fair Neutral and the Light Neutral. The Fair Neutral is very white. I like this to help brighten that area up and kind of highlight some other areas. And then the Light Neutral is a little bit more closer to my skin tone, but yet still a little bit lighter, just so it helps conceal as well as helps bring a little brightening to that area. So I'm going to start with the Fair Neutral, and these are wand based as well, so very easy to apply. What I use this color for, I put it right in that center, I mean in the corners of my eye, and just kind of bring it down a little bit. And I'm also going to put it on my cupid's bow, around my nose. I'm going to use it up here and on the tip of my nose and on my chin area. Just a little dabs right like that. I know this kind of looks crazy. I'm going to take my little beauty blender again. I'm just going to kind of flip it to the other side that I didn't use and blend that in. And it's going to look really white right now, but we'll be fixing that. And I'm by no means saying this is the way you have to do it. This is the products that you have to use. Like I said in the beginning, you kind of have to find your own way and your own products. this is just what works for me, and this just gives me the brightness in those areas that I like. Alright, so that's pretty well blended. Now I'm going to take my light neutral, and this I'm going to just start right here and just kind of make like a triangle. Like that. Just like that. And I'm going to take my little beauty blender again and blend that out. And this is a little bit closer to my skin tone, my foundation, so it blends it in a little bit easier, but yet still kind of keeps that brightening feel or brightening look. Since I've already applied my foundation, I'm going to take my beauty blender that I used to apply it with, and where I ended with my concealer, I'm just going to kind of take that and just blend, make it blend more, just like that. Another good concealer that I used to use in the past was by MAC, the MAC Pro Long concealer. I don't have it with me because I had finished it and I moved on to a different one. I just wanted to see what else was out there, and I'm glad I did because I really like the Urban Decay ones. But the MAC Pro Long Wear Concealer is a really good one too. It comes in a pump, so what I did was I used I just put like one pump on the back of my hand, and I used like a brush sort of like this, like a concealer brush. This is a Morphe M224, and just took the product and put it where I wanted to, and then blended it out with my beauty blender. So that's another good concealer out there that I really liked. But these have been really working for me. I've been really loving them. Okay, so now that we've got our concealer on there, we want to set everything. I don't know if you can tell, but the concealer is already getting into those fine lines, but we're going to fix that. I'm going to go ahead and set my foundation first. I'm actually going to set it using my beauty blender, and my favorite setting powder right now is the It's Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores, and I'm just going to kind of bounce that around. Now the important part. Okay, so my favorite under eye setting powder is by Laura Mercier. It's her secret brightening powder, and it comes in a little jar like this. And don't let it scare you. The powder is very white, but it is also I don't think you can see it, but it's very white, but it's also very translucent. It has a little bit. It doesn't have any glitter or anything like that, but it has just a nice glow to help brighten up that area. I have two brushes that I like to use to set this powder, and the one I'm going to use today is the Morphe M176, and it is just like a flat, kind of flimsy brush. It's great for setting the under eyes. Another one I also use, I use this one probably the most during the week. This is another Morphe. This is the M438, and it's just sort of a fluffier brush that comes to more of a point, but is great also for getting in there and setting that under eye. But today I'm going to use the M176. But first, here's a little trick that I've learned. You're going to take your wet beauty blender. I like to take the end that I have not used, and I'm going to have to get my mirror a little bit closer here. You can either look up and dab at that area, or what I like to do, because I like to see what I'm doing, is I just kind of make a face. Like I pull that down. I pull down my eye like that. I know it's weird. I know the things you do, right? So you just pull down, and those fine lines kind of spread out, and you just tap. I kind of have to look up a little bit because you don't want to poke yourself in the eye. But I just tap at those fine lines, and it smooths it out. You do want to have your powder at the ready, so I'm going to go ahead and get a lot on there. I'm talking a lot. Get it on there, have it ready. Make your face, pat, pat, and then set. And set it right up in there. And just blend it out. Same thing on the other side. I'm going to use the other brush so you can see that it pretty much works the same, but it's just a little bit bigger, more fluffier. So I'm going to get it, wand at the ready. Get a lot of product on there. Don't be afraid to use a lot. It blends in really easily. Make your face, pat, pat. Make sure those fine lines are blended out, y'all. That is the key. And then press your powder up in there. And that's it. So either brush, I like either one of them. This one I use mostly during the week because it's bigger and it can cover a bigger area, and I kind of bring it down and on my cheek areas. But this one is the one I use to really concentrate and getting the powder into those areas. I just find that it does kind of get in there a little bit better than the bigger brush does. But they both work very well. And you're still going to have your fine lines, but throughout the day, it's not going to, the concealer is not going to like set up in there and like really just ruin your day. It's still gonna, you're still gonna see your fine lines, and you still may see a little bit of product in there, but it's not gonna be bad at all. I promise. This has been my favorite way of concealing my under eye areas and keeping the product out of those fine, not completely out of the fine lines, but not having so much in there by the end of the day and have your concealer gone because they're in those fine lines. So that's it. That's how I conceal my under eye area. Like I said in the video, I did not come up with this on my own. I did do some research and watch other YouTubers do the same technique, but I did have to kind of go through products that I liked and that worked for me and that covered what I wanted. To my extent of coverage, I guess is what I want to say. But yeah, so you have to really kind of find your own products. I was super glad to share the ones that I love and I use with you, of course. As far as tools are important as well. I love my beauty blenders. I use them constantly. They are very well loved. I have a few brushes that I like to use, which I had told you in the video all about. But to me, I believe the whole technique of how you do your under eye is what's key, especially the setting part. The setting part is what's key, and that's pretty much what I learned watching different YouTubers do their under eye makeup. They could have even done it totally different, but that was the one step that they never left out. They may have used a different product, but that was the step. Setting it and the way they set it just works, trust me. I'm actually filming the ending of this. I filmed the video this morning, and it is already like 4 o'clock in the afternoon today. So all I did was I was just a little oily right here and up here, like in kind of, I guess basically my T-zone. So I just kind of powdered that up. But this is the look that I did this morning. My under eyes are still good. I don't see any creasing. Let me check it out. No, we are good. I'll zoom in so you can see. I'm getting really close. I don't know if you can tell, but no creasing. My fine lines are there, but they are not creasing. Eee. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was very helpful for you. Of course, I will have everything that I used, products, tools, everything listed down below in the description box. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Definitely come follow me on my social medias. I'll have that all linked down below as well. And Thank y'all so much for watching and spending this time with me, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye, y'all.